Hey everybody, welcome back to the bench with me today. Kind of wanted to go over some panel liners. Well, one, oh geez, just working on the Academy kit here, and I just like panel lining. It's nice. It's really satisfying. So basically, I use this Tamiya panel liner. I've got the black, the brown, and the gray seem to be the ones I use the most. And one thing, if you only buy the black, you won't know. You really got to shake these up, because if you look, it's kind of hard to see. This liquid's pretty clear. You can see it caked there. If you give it a good shake, you can see it. Oh, now it's mixed up. So there is, really, you can see with this brown one. So you really got to keep it, yeah, so you can see the pigments. So you're going to want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to use brown. I do want to talk a little bit about panel lining. I've had some comments on previous videos about scribing lines, about them being deeper than what you would see on an aircraft, and I do agree. We tend to emphasize details on our model kits. At least the reason I do it is mostly because it's small, so from 2 feet away in the cabinet, you want to be able to see the details. So that's mainly the reason I do it. There may be other techniques to not. Plus, if you scribe it all out, then you prime it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna sand it again after you prime it, and maybe add a little more primer. So you want to make sure your lines are deep enough to be preserved through that second sanding. Also, when you do your other coats of paint, clear coats, panel lining, whatever, decals, you want your decals to sink in to your panel lines, like you can see those ones did, if they're going to be over panel lines, so it doesn't look like it's a decal or a sticker. So yeah, I'm going to use this black. I've shaken it up. I do have a paint shaker. I like to make sure. I'm going to use black, and we're just going to go, I'm going to do this side so that you guys can see the difference on camera, because it is a little bit harder to see, and that's why I do it. Now this stuff is an enamel. It's pretty messy. You want to be careful. If you get it on your hand, it will panel line your hands. I should wear gloves. Sometimes I do, but I didn't feel like putting them on. So, also, when you do this, the most important step is you want to gloss coat this first and let it fully cure. These enamels can be pretty harsh on paints. I've found just a pure acrylic gloss for my weathering step works really nice. Oops, I hit the camera. Works really nice, because once they're cured, you're not going to put your white spirits on there. Aren't going to take your acrylics off after they're fully cured in most cases. Actually, this stuff works pretty good. I have this tester stuff, and I did find that if I'm a little too heavy-handed in applying it, it actually does kind of, you can see where you were rubbing around. So sometimes, just be careful. Make sure what you get isn't too hot. I did learn the hard way. Once upon a time, when I first started modeling, one of my first kits was this kit off of Amazon. It was a Corsair, and I did it these colors from testers. I just picked these up at Hobby Lobby when I did the kit, And these are enamels. That was a bad choice because I panolined it, went to remove the splotches, and gone. You're eating up your own paint. So sometimes I like to experiment with different paints, but enamel, and then if you're using weathering products that are enamel, you're gonna buff off your paint, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started here. It is pretty satisfying, as you'll see. It's it's just gonna run. We'll just kind of not get too much here. It's gonna run down the track. Let's see. Oh, whoops. See what I mean? Always keep a paper towel handy. You're just gonna touch. It's gonna run down. You can even see it already went down in those cracks. If you don't use, here, let's see if we can get it in the light. If you don't use a gloss, since a matte coat is rough, it's gonna it'll just spread out and it makes a big mess. It doesn't run down your lines, your panel lines very well. Oh my gosh. It's a little bit harder to do in the camera, not right in front of my face. The good news about this stuff, though, is since it is an enamel, you can just wait for it to dry, and then you can pull it right off with a Q-tip or something soaked in these white spirits here. So you can see it goes pretty fast down those lines. Well, I'm trying to show you guys, but this metal paint is kind of reflective. Let's see. So just tap there, and you just kind of go, if it's long, you want to do, and you can see it, even that little daub, you'll see it soak in as it runs down your panel line. I feel like this one didn't do it as good. And then I bet even these squares, this might be a better one to show. Yeah, you can see it just follow that immediately. We'll try the nose here. Oh, there comes another splotch waiting to happen. Now, Tamiya is not the only brand. This was just the ones I decided to pick up because I use a lot of their stuff. And I just... Uh-oh. I do like the brand. Yeah, be careful not to touch. Since this is extremely thin down, it does take a little bit of time to dry. But you can see that it's just following the line there. And then the only thing also you don't want to do when you clean your lines up is you don't want to push too hard, or else you'll, depending on what you're using, you'll get into those panel lines and pull your panel lines off. So here's the thing, from right in front of your face, it may look, you know, and they didn't panel line real aircraft, but from 2 feet away, you know, you want to be able to see the details of your kit. You know, and even on camera, I think you can see the difference. And I know there's these spots, but for the sake of the video, just imagine those aren't there. You can see, especially on the sides and the flaps there on the back, the difference to there. Even if you're just taking pictures, it's hard to see. So I do think And depending on, if you're doing camouflage or something, you may want to use brown. This also can work, kind of, if you're doing a more like rusty, you can go around rivets and stuff and then pull off the excess. Generally, though, I've found this stuff isn't the best for that since it is extremely thin, which I'm going to put the lid on this real quick while I talk. But yeah, that's why Panaline, guys. I think it looks good. It's just one of those extra detail things that makes it look good on the shelf. Maybe if you had some super thick ones, you might want to tone it down a little bit. What I do to remove those spots, I'll just get like a Q-tip like this. These I've found are a little abrasive. I just soak it in some white spirits. Well, not soak, but I just get it a little damp after this is dry. Maybe wait a half an hour after you're done, and you'll pull those up. Recently, though, I saw somebody just here on YouTube. They use these makeup sponges, and these are pretty cheap on Amazon. And they're soft, so you're not rubbing. The only thing you have to be careful about with these is to not push, or else it'll, the sponge will kind of squeeze into your Panaline and you'll actually take it out of there. So that's what I use to take it off. The problem is this is about $7 and this was about $5, so you get way more in here. I have heard though you can just get like craft store brand white spirits or whatever and remove that. So you don't have to buy something from AK or Testors. Tamiya also makes an enamel thinner, but in the US I guess it's technically not sold. And I know you can get it because Tamiya makes enamel paints. There's just something about how they make their enamels. They don't sell them here yet. So if you live somewhere, I know usually their thinners are about $7 or $8. So you can go that route and get a lot more. But yeah, that's how I Panaline my kits, guys. I'm sure all of you watching probably have Panalined 1,000 kits. But I just wanted to go over kind of why I do it and why I think it looks good on kits, especially if you're doing something that's just this like natural metal finish. I tend to do this as my first step to weathering, just because after you're done, if you do something like your streaking grime, you don't want to have to Panaline, and then when you're removing these splotches, you're pulling up weathering effects that you've already done. But yeah, let me know, guys, do you Panaline your kits? Do you think Panalining is good? Do you think it looks natural, or is it more of a scale modeling tactic just for looking good on a shelf? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed and leaves comments. Also, if you guys, I get a lot of people sharing stories about where modeling started. I really appreciate those. I do like to know where the hobby started. And then obviously, if I look at my analytics on here, like 80% of my viewer base is in the 55 to 65 range. Obviously, you guys have way more experience than me, so I really welcome, any comments from you guys that have been modeling, since the beginning. Any tips I get, I really enjoy, because sometimes you can watch a video, but sometimes, you don't have the first-hand experience. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.